So my name is Ishaan Upadhyay, and what I'm going to talk about is how young kids like me can learn how to code on Scratch, and the 4 basic types of games young kids like me should learn how to create. So let me share my screen. Scratching is very fun to me as I spend all my times on Saturday, most of them, creating and playing my games and testing out errors. I study in grade 4 International School Manila, ISM. I'm from India, but I'm currently living in the Philippines. My hobbies are reading, video gaming, playing on Scratch, creating on Scratch, and exercising. I'm a student of Turing Ninjas, which is a coding class that taught me how to code. About Scratch. Scratch is a platform where millions of people from around the world come to play on it. Every day, these 50 projects or games are started or created. The only time when you cannot play on Scratch is when the creators of Scratch are updating it. The good part about Scratch is it's very easy to create on. You don't need to type code like on Python. You just need to drag and drop. Here's an image, the example. So here's how a project will look like inside one. Here's how inside a project will look like. My games. I've created many games in Scratch, but I'm only going to show a few of them. The first game, Master the Metrics. One of them you should learn. The second game, What is Our Weight? The science game. The third game, Coding Art. The floral pattern game. And the fourth game, UFO vs Asteroids, my favorite game, the multi-level game. Master the Metrics, making maths easy. This is Master the Metrics, where it'll ask you about metrics questions, like about milliliters, liters, kilometers, and meters. So there are more than one level in this, and 11 questions. The best you can get is 11 out of 11 to make your metric systems very good. Okay, so I'm gonna go to full screen. So Little Poker here is asking a question. 1 liter has how many ml? 1,000. 1 cm has... So I'm just gonna go a little fast to skip through it. So the best you can get is 11 out of 11. And like this is only level 1. Level 2 is this little mermaid is lost in the desert and is feeling very hot. So how many 500 ml jugs will it take to fill this 16.5 liter? So this will help you learn about your metric system. And you get the right answer. Like that, kids can build their metric system. The next game, the science game. This game's about your weight and your weight on different planets. So it can tell you your weight all around the planets on the solar system. So for example, if my weight is, I'll put 28 kg. And what planet do I want my weight on? I can either type the answer in the question box below, like Venus, or I can just click the planets to make it easier. So this will help you learn about your weight on different planets. And this is one of the games kids should learn how to build on Scratch. The third game, Coding Art, the floral pattern game. Floral patterns. This game's about the shapes and drawings you can do in coding. This will help kids learn about what you can do in coding. So this little birdie in the center, it can create all sorts of shapes. So I'm gonna go. So if I click the green flag, it'll create an octagon. If I press the space key, it'll create a square. And if I click like the B button, or if I just even click the sprite, it'll start creating flowers around the board. So this is the drawing we can do in our coding. So like that, the birdie can draw all around the board. And this is another thing we should learn using the pen item in Scratch. So we can also erase all of them by clicking the erase button. My next game, my favorite game, the fourth game, UFO vs Asteroids, the multi-level game. This is my favorite game as it's the most challenging and entertaining game. It's a screen scrolling game where asteroids come out from the left and you have to use the up and down arrow keys to avoid the asteroids. There are 4 levels and each level is 30 seconds. Let's see if you can beat all of them. So this will help kids like learn how to do different create multi-level games and screen scrolling games at once. You have to click space key to start. Then I can use the up and down arrow keys to move it. As I said, every level is 30 seconds long. It's like the first level is like asteroids will be coming out from the same spot. The second level, asteroids will be coming out from different spots. Third level, asteroids will be going up and down. And fourth level is the same as second level, just making it easier. So each level is 30 seconds, so around every 30 seconds. And you only have 1 life, so if you touch the asteroid, like if I touch the asteroid right now, my game ends. It's game over. And this is also my favorite game, as if you can, well, like all the asteroids are coming out from the left, and it's sort of like a fun game that kids would love to play. So these are sort of games you kids should learn how to create the 4 basic games on Scratch. So all these games. So these are all my favorite games, and I think they're very good and helpful to be in Scratch. Thank you.
Wow. How long have you been a game designer?
Well, I started around for like 10 months, 10 to 11 months.
I thought you were gonna say like 10 years or something like that.
No,
You
I
seem
just
so
recently
experienced.
started, but I think these are very good games. I learned from
Very
they
good
get
games.
very good class for coding.
Yeah. And how long have you been doing programming computers?
Only 10 months.
So you started programming and started on game design right away.
Yeah, like a few months ago.
Wow.
Okay, and you said like you like Scratch so much. Could you tell us why you like Scratch so much?
Because it's very fun to create the games, spotting out your errors, and creating and playing your games as well.
So
What
you
is your
suggest,
favorite type of
yeah.
game to design?
Well, my favorite type of game is usually multi-level games where you have to beat one level after another.
Right.
And which one took the longest to create?
The fourth game, the Euphonious Asteroids one, this one.
That's the
I
multi-level
think
one?
Yeah.
it's really ruthless. You only get 1 life.
Yeah. Before it was 3, but I thought like, hey, 3's too easy.
You gotta give the people a challenge, right?
Yeah. I like challenging games on Scratch as well. Multi-level challenging.
What was your inspiration for those games?
Well, like lots of other games I like to play. Like I like to play the T-Rex game on Google, so that's the inspiration of the screen scrolling game for this one. And for coding art, I like doing art, like drawing and all. So this gave me the inspiration. For science, I like the solar system and the space. So that gave me the inspiration for what is our weight. And for maths, I'm really good at maths, so I thought, why don't I write a game at it?
So you're just taking your interest and using that as your inspiration to make games. Yes, I love it. Very good.
Created many more games from my interests.
So what do you think you're going to do from here? Now that you have this experience with Scratch, do you think you're going to go on to other programming like Python, like you were saying?
I want to Python next, I think.
Okay. And what do you want to do with this skill that you're learning? What do you want to do with these coding skills? Do you want to continue to make games or do you want to do some other stuff?
I'm gonna start creating like apps on App Creator soon, and like I already want to create games on Roblox. I like Roblox.
Yes.
Starting that soon.
Okay, very good. And this is great knowledge. I mean, you'll be able to use this in the future. You start here, whether it's making games or making apps or any of those things. Excellent. I love it.
Yeah, so this is like my textbook of knowledge. Then later on, I'll be using this.
Yeah, and you'll just keep building on it, right? Very good. Very interesting. Well, what do you think is the hardest part about creating these games?
The hardest part, I think, is like getting the right blocks, like doing the right codes to create it.
Hmm. Did you face any frustrations making these games? Were there any times that you got stuck or frustrated?
Lots of times.
Yeah. And what do you do when that happens?
I just couldn't get the right answer. So when that happens, like I tried thinking of other strategies, like maybe what could I do, what could have been wrong, and then
Mhm.
I try checking the codes to see if there are any errors, and then I play my game to find out the errors first of all.
So it takes a lot of patience, right? A lot of
Yeah,
patience and a lot of perseverance.
most of my games take about like 1 to 2 days to create.
Wow. Well, I'm very impressed with what you've been able to create and the fact that you've only been doing this for such a short time. I mean, that would take me probably years. So you are a very skilled young man. I can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Yeah. What would you tell like other people that want to start creating games and or starting computer programming? What would be like your tips for them?
My tips would be, first of all, try to create try to create basic simple games to start with, like games that anybody can create, like maybe just making a dino jump over a city when you click some, like maybe a space key, like simple, very simple games. Then start moving on to harder games like the UFO vs asteroids.
I'll take your word then.
That is great advice. Start out small and then build from there.
Yeah.
And
Excellent.
keep trying, right?
Well, thank you so much for sharing. I really enjoyed seeing your creations. They look a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ishaan. Join us in the next one to see like your new games and your new creations. All right.
Okay. Deal.
Right. Awesome. Thanks.